Hello and welcome to the 2024 Australian 16ft Skiff and 13ft Skiff national titles hosted by the St George Sailing Club down here on beautiful Botany Bay. Joining me today for the invitation race is Andrew Dolly Davola, fresh off an aeroplane, and Greg Junk, 5-time national champion, absolute legend. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Pleasure, Jimmy.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
So yeah, you've both had a bit of a wander around the boat park earlier today and seen some familiar faces and some not so familiar faces, guys. So what's your take on the feel in the park?
Pretty stellar lineup, Jimmy. I think this is shaping up to be a pretty good tidal down here on Botany Bay with hopefully some good breezes, big wide expanses of water and plenty of talent and some pretty schmick looking boats in the boat park today. Everyone's still doing their last minute jobs and, you know, getting everything polished up and looking at its best and fastest. But yeah, certainly a pretty good lineup. I think it's going to be a cracking regatta, mate.
And talking about polishing things up, I see, Will, your young bloke had you at work on the boards, polishing the boards early on.
Yeah, I got off a plane at 1 a.m. this morning and I've got to come down here first thing in the morning and make sure his centreboard fits. So yeah, mate, just doing a few little last minute jobs, but pretty glad that they're taking their preparation seriously, even if it's a little bit late. And
for the viewers at home that don't know, Dolly pulled off a very remarkable achievement last week over in WA for the Windsurfer World Championships, coming away with a 10th when he was aiming for a top 20. And for those that do know Dolly, you know, been a tough 2 years for Dol to even be here, let alone the remarkable achievement that you pulled off over there. So congratulations, Dol.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, I worked. I don't think I've ever worked so hard in preparation for an event. But look, from being a withery little 62 kilo bag of bones when I got out of hospital a bit over a year ago to being able to compete and go sailing with my mates, it was pretty special. Good turnout, 260 competitors. Stellar regatta. Perth just never fails to deliver.
And the Peroni team, the liver check was all okay?
Yeah, mate. No, Peroni Club did, which for those who don't know, that's my little training group of some very, very well-accomplished windsurfers. And, yeah, we've worked really hard. And, yeah, good band of brothers and one sister, Sarah Kenny. And yeah, everyone performed pretty well, I think. We're pretty happy with our results for a bunch of old blokes and one old disabled bloke.
In the Mayor of the West, Scotty Glaskin look after you?
Yeah, Scotty was my weather advisor, Jimmy, and he's going to be turning up here as a spectator. But Jimmy, he'd love to see the 16s back for an event in WA sometime, and certainly it'd be a great place to sail skiffs again. But
wouldn't we all love to see the 16s back on the
Swan River?
The Swan River.
Yeah, it was. I was over there for a month, and we had 30+ degrees and 25 knots virtually every day. Just stellar sailing conditions.
Sounds terrible, doesn't it? Yeah. But Greg Junk, you one of the lucky blokes to actually win a national title on the Swan. On the Swan.
Yeah. We turned up over there one year and we looked out over the sand spit and I went, surely we're not going to sail in that. It was smoking. The doctor was in and anyhow, all the locals just threw their rigs in and out they went. So we followed them. By the end of the series, we knew how to sail in good, strong wind conditions.
And you did most of your sailing down here where we are on Botany Bay, Georges River, for most of your career?
Yeah. All my career, I've always sailed on the river. I live in a kilometre away from 2 skiff clubs, so it's not a bad place to base yourself.
And there's NHS on screen, the young Joel Beashel.
One to watch, I think, for sure. Those guys, I mean, we know NHS is a quick boat, and Joel, what an amazing young talent. And anyone who knows anything about sailing, the Beashel name, obviously, very famous sailing family, and Joel's mum was just competing with me at the Windsurfer Worlds as well. Laney Butler Beechel, and yeah, did exceptionally well on the podium, and yeah, I think 4 or 5 time Olympian.
And Laney had no intention of going, is the rumour going around?
Well, yeah, I think it was a bit of a last minute decision. She always wanted to come, but yeah, they have a pretty busy schedule. But she came, and she's a great girl. Great to see her over there sailing.
And I suppose we better start talking about what we're here to talk about, the 16-foot skiffs and the 13-foot skiffs. Have a look at a bit of the weather here at the moment. Got a light easterly. Greg, being the local, what are we going to expect?
Light easterly out in the bay here with a run-in tide. It'll be soft and get softer all day. So want to get into that leading position and try to hold it.
And like we are smack bang in the middle of the bay, halfway between Dulles Point and the airport.
Yep.
And which way would you go? Like we're sort of heading out towards Yarra Bay, out towards La Perouse there.
Yeah, I'd hit the right-hand side of the course today. It's always been the favoured course. There's some nice step-ups when you get further up towards the heads there that you can get back across to that Kurnell shore. So you've got to keep a lookout for those and get across when they're there, because they're not always there.
And try and hide from the tide a bit over there and try not to hit the bottom, right?
Yeah, we're far enough across that you shouldn't have any problem with the bottom, and you might not be able to get far enough in to get out of the tide. So It's going to be a pretty fair course for all the competitors.
Yeah, I can't really see the breeze doing too much besides dropping, but then it'll probably prove us wrong. But yeah, definite sort of an oscillation of pressure coming when the pressure is coming through. It's looking like it's sort of holding true east and then ticking back a little bit in the southerly southeast direction from time to time. Looks like we're just starting to get ready for a sequence.
No, it's a little warning to a sequence.
Start line.
Tinny does this
start line's
orange
open.
flag thing, yep.
Start line's open, yeah. It's pretty standard these days.
So PRO Peter Tinworth for this regatta. And plenty of volunteers, which is good to see.
Yeah, great stuff. And these events don't happen without people putting their hand up and giving away their time to volunteer and man boats and make stuff happen.
And the St George Sailing Club got its first bit of silverware for the year in the MGs.
Yeah,
Greg?
Neil and Josh Tasker just won the MGs up there in Queensland, and also the skates, I think. Greg Patterson just won the skate championship as well. So we got the first lot of silverware back in the club.
Yeah, the skates were over in Perth as well.
Yeah.
And Josh Tasker is filling as skipper on the Outback Marine this week, filling in for Georgia Clancy, who unfortunately has work commitments. So nice little warm-up for him, eh? Winning the MGs and stepping onto a 16.
Yeah, so he commandeered his father and said, I'm sailing with you up in Queensland, let's go and do it. So pretty special moment for Neil to win a championship with his son. Josh is a bit of an MG specialist and absolutely loves sailing in the class, and I think that's probably about his 5th or maybe 6th title.
Yeah, wow.
And another great X16 sailor, Mr. Jim Kerrison, took the bridesmaid trophy again.
Yeah.
G'day, Jim, if you're watching.
Jim and Debbie compete up there and got bridesmaid last year and bridesmaids this year.
Yeah. He's starting to think he's cursed.
Kero always looked good in a dress anyway.
But yeah, looking down the line there now, you can see the fleet is gathering in numbers. Good to see everyone's got off the beach on time, and looks like we don't have too many latecomers. Looking down the bay behind us off screen, so shaping up, getting ready to have a look, and only a few have been up course to have a bit of a look. So everyone a little bit late, but it is invitation race, so we don't have sheep stations riding on it.
And a fair sail from the club around to the race area today.
That's right. Yeah, bit of a stretch out to the main bay, but love it out here. Good, clean, open expanse of water. Good, the breeze is clean. Unlike Sydney Harbour, there's not too many power boats and stuff out here.
Just plenty of jet skis.
Just
I've
great
noticed.
racing. Yeah.
Pretty lucky with the jet skis today. They must be all at Ramadan or something like that.
So having a look at the lineups of all the boats, we've got 52 starters in the 16-foot skiffs. We'll get Chits to wrong one. Chits will bring them up, and as long as you've got a 80-inch screen, there you go. You can see all the riders and for every boat. So it's a very good, strong field, as we alluded to earlier. And after doing some homework, have you got any top picks that you're liking?
Who are we going to put the curse on this regatta, Jimmy? Hey,
Mate, we can help out anyone, you know that.
Look, there's in my opinion, there's probably 8 boats, 10 boats who are probably in with a shot, with a couple of standouts. I think Imagine and Moonin are probably the two to watch.
Well, Imagine with Malpage away, Imagine signage with Malpage away this week at other commitments.
Yeah, so they've got Jack Hildebrand filling in, pretty accomplished sailor.
No slouch.
No, not at all. So I'm thinking he can step up. I don't expect there to be, no offence, Mal, I don't expect a massive change from them. But in the chasing pack from both Belmont and Manly, whole number of boats who are quite capable of getting podium positions in races, and I think by the end of the week we're just going to see how the points stack up and see where we end up. But yeah, as I say, I think there's probably 10 standouts, and today's going to be a great form guide, I think. Tricky day. It's going to be who gets off the start, who gets around that top mark first, right, Greg, and gets a bit of a jump.
Yeah. If you get a bit of a jump around that top mark with that tide behind you today, you'll set yourself up pretty nice not to fight through too many other boats. There's the smaller steerers is going to favour today as well, and there seems to be plenty of them in the park. So very interesting sailing out there.
Yeah, we just had on screen, they've just gone off, well, you might be able to see them in a sec. Southerly, there they are now, just behind the start boat. And to me, looking at these conditions today, Sarah Lee, she is a light air specialist, always does well. Great crew with Keegan York and Kurt Warner. Will I put the curse on them today, Jimmy?
I think you already have, Dalton.
And a local boat as well, so
they are, yeah.
We support the locals.
There's SKE Electrical with Banjo Nicholson. You'd know a bit about him, Dole. There's Scott Beebe and Joel Skelton on board.
Yep, another youngster like Joel from Belmont. Obviously another famous sailing family. Dad just won the Hobart race with Dylan, who we've got on board here. So yeah, he's obviously, these young guys are still finding their feet a little bit in the skiffs, but just great young guys. And how good is it to have young sailors of that pedigree and that talent coming into the class?
Well, yeah, you got him and Joel Beechel, just to name a few, which is pretty bloody awesome.
Yeah, fantastic.
Young Ryan Ewings was on the way down there as well.
He was on the scallywag.
Yeah, on the scallywag.
And the front fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a shame.
I don't think they're talking about it still.
Yeah, we were down there covering, obviously, the finish for the CYCA, and I was actually surprised. I went to drop cards back off to the race village to the broadcast partners down there and ran to Gillian. I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, I had the ticket booked, so...
Yeah, might as well have a beer.
Yeah, so I pointed him in the right direction to where to find a beer and not be hassled by people.
2.5 minutes. It was Red Pumps just went. Red Pumps Red just went to pull away behind the start boat there and thought better of it when the rudder was just dragging through the water and they were about to go through the side of it.
I was noticing a lot of people checking their boards and so forth. Weed and jelly blubber's still a big thing down here.
Yeah, the jelly blubbers just before Christmas have been really bad. There's been plenty of them out in the bay here. The weed not so bad, but we've had a little bit of rain during the week, which washes a lot of the weed down off the shores and into the water. But the jelly blubbers are the ones that can really slow you down.
And we are on a course 3, so they're just doing windward lewards, which they'll be doing all week.
Yeah, windward leeward with a gate just above the start line and 3 times to the top for the 16s. We'll wait and see what they do for the 13s. We're down to inside a minute 30 now, and everyone looks like they're behaving so far. Everyone's a little bit far back. Looking pin end to me at the moment. Junkie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, well, that's where they're all heading down that end, but you could do a port hand start up at the boat and get into this right hand side. So
Nice clear air.
yeah.
Yep. Everyone pushing down towards the pin end at 1 minute to go. Tide will be keeping them behind the line a bit. At the moment, they're all looking very well behaved. We've got to imagine, well, sort of all the major players are looking to win that pin end. Tribeca's just done a nice little tack in, and they're the most advanced to the line and probably looking in pretty good shape there if they can accelerate off with 20 odd seconds to go now.
Talking to James Turner, I sail with him obviously up in Asia a fair bit. He comes up and sails with us, and the amount of weight he's lost.
Hardly recognise him.
Yeah. He almost fall into the Foradang category if he loses too much more
But
weight.
he certainly looks fit and strong, Jimmy.
Yeah, and his skipper, Ben Bradley, comes for a push bike ride with me, and we've been knocking the weight off him as well.
And we're off, and imagine we're going to go general. So all boats down at the pin end, some of them well over, and we're actually already looping around the pin, looking for an option out. There was Fluid, Imagine, I think Moonan were down there as well, so some major players a little bit eager to get away. And looking at that now, if someone can win the pin and get a bit of a leg off and then get onto port tack, they'll be gone. So I don't know whether Mr. Tinworth will leave the pin. I'm happy with the line, for sure. I think it's a well-laid line, that little bit of pin bias. It's pretty much the only way to keep them behind.
Looking there, one of the first boats to flop onto port and start charging out.
The little general.
No surprise.
Yeah.
Lee Napton
and
on the
Noakes team. Local boys as well. And yeah, they're certainly on my my list of favourites, Jimmy, for this regatta. And I think especially if it gets a bit fruity.
Yeah, definitely if that breeze kicks in, they're going to be well and truly into it. But,
yeah, 3 of the best.
I think Pete's getting a bit old and gets a bit frustrated in this light winds.
I think we all did on the sheet, didn't we?
You reckon Mackie's a bit old, do you, Junkie?
Well, you were sailing when I was sailing.
That's a bit harsh, mate.
Dennis told me it was 40 years since we won our last championship. So.
Right.
Well, yeah, and the disappointment these guys had of last year in the last race. So,
They'll be looking for some redemption, Jimmy,
Yeah.
without any doubt. Yep.
So we'll Davey O'Connor on board Fluid with Fang Warren, recently crowned New South Wales 18ft Skiff champion, and Phil Harmer.
Yep. another team to watch. I had a look at their new gear on the boats. Looks both interesting and impressive. So we'll see how that stacks up once we get a few races under our belt.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit funny combination when you got two sheet hands in Fang and Phil.
Yeah, Phil's in the bow.
Yeah, and they all looked at each other. It was like, all right, I'll go in the bow.
Rock, scissors, paper, scissors, rock. But yeah, Phil Harmer in the bow on the fluid. No, he'll get the job done.
Yeah, we had quite a bad little accident just before the end of last year. Fell through the floor and hurt his back quite badly.
Yes,
and he
right.
was very touch and go whether he was going to do Hobart aboard the mighty Scallywag, which didn't make it in the end. So a bit more rest time for Phil to get his back right for this week.
Yeah, we've just got Imagine signage on screen. They look like they're just having a little sniff around that line. They might be pinging the start boat on their Sailmon or whatever device they're using. Nathan just having a look at that line, getting for those at home that don't know, they have an electronic device, a compass. They can ping either end of the start line that gives them a time on distance. Obviously that wasn't working too well on that last start when they were all over.
I'll see the start boat, the Mighty Mutiny, has upgraded his horns.
Yes, sounds like a Mack truck, doesn't it?
Our producer director on board here, he's extremely happy. He loves a loud horn.
So here on screen there's a few of the main protagonists there. You can see Imagine, Noakes, NHS and Sail Racing. They're all four boats they're in my aforementioned 10 to watch. NFPG just behind the start boat. They'll come into picture in a moment. That's Benny Brunnages with Dave Hickey and Justin Sharrock. I think they've been going pretty well at Belmont, haven't they, Jimmy, this season?
Yeah, they've been going pretty well. Like the Belmont guys seem to have all lifted together, and there's no one being completely outstanding up there. It's it's horses for courses up there, and it's good to see that they're really pushing hard. And one of the other, you got NHS, you've got Swell. Just as we go into postponement there. So
I think that's a good comment you just made there, that it's happening right across the whole 16s fleet, that you're not getting a dominant boat in a club. Everybody's getting their chance lately, and it's levelled out. It's, as you say, it's the breeze range. Somebody will perform a little bit better than another boat. And we've had a season that we've had a lot of different breezes, so it's been good for sailing and good to watch.
Yeah, you're right. Like the level of competition has really lifted particularly in the 16s. The 13s at Manly has come along leaps and bounds, and as far as the kids from when they first started beginning of this season to now has been incredible. One to actually watch is young Averill from Middle Harbour 16s on Plonk Cafe. She's been coming around and poking the bear a fair bit at Manly, and she's definitely one to watch this week. So
likes a bit of breeze too.
Yep.
Yeah, she's got quite a big crew. Swing it down, Warwick. And when a bit of breeze, they'll be one to watch in the 13s for sure. We just had on screen a moment ago the Imey, Jimmy. Another one, definitely one to watch, with Hugh Stoddart, Trent Barnabas, and we've got him back, Robbie Napper.
Yeah, Robbie Napper's back on the water.
So Rob's back he says his shoulder's okay, everything else hurts now. So, but yeah, as Jimmy and I know, we love to talk Rob up. He's one of the best in the business, and I'm sure Hugh and Trent are very pleased to have him back for the Nationals.
Well, Hugh's no slouch in his own right mind. Like, Hugh, you sailed against him in the 18 style, and then, he excelled in that era of the 18s where it was just the star-studded lineup, and he just couldn't, he came second to, I think, everyone.
Yeah. He was a Kero of the 18s. Yeah, very talented sailor, very determined, very analytical sailor, Hugh.
And very fit.
Very fit indeed, especially for, his age.
I'll let you talk about that, mate. Because
he keeps himself very fit, running and cycling and doing all sorts of crazy adventure racing and stuff. All helps him with his sailing. But yeah, another boat to watch, I think. So we're just on hold here at the moment with the AP. We've had the breeze has shifted a little bit to the left here at the moment. We're gonna reposition the pin boat by the looks of it. We're just going to drop it back to compensate for that shift in the breeze. I can't see that far up course at the moment, but I'm guessing they'll be bringing the top. Yeah, I can just see them now. The top marks starting. They're just going to bring that a little bit more north. So they're just getting the course realigned. It's actually gone quite a way left, Junkie.
Yeah, which is unexpected. So
80 degrees we've got now. And yeah, there's one boat up course there. Who's that? Outback Marine, I think, is it? Looking up the course. They were looking very high on Port Tack up there.
I think that's
Cunningham's.
Trying to wear Big Paulie out before the start.
Yeah, but Nick Connor, he's no fool. He's actually just shot up there just to have a look at those angles and see what that breeze is doing. How to put it.
They've got a replacement bowman this week, Dole, with Tommy Quigley.
Yep. Tom was in the park there, had a chat to him and his dad, Stephen. Steve, another accomplished skiff sailor, obviously, and Hobart winner on the Oats. So yeah, he's filling in. Unfortunately, James Luira Fernandez.
Wrong boat, mate. Wrong boat.
Oh no, sorry.
Mikey Childs.
Mikey Childs is off, and Nick was looking for a crew. I know I've been in Perth, but I saw he was looking for a crew only like a week ago, wasn't he?
I think Tom signed up yesterday, mate.
Yes,
to be honest with you, it was very touch and go for both them and another boat from Manly, the Botany Access. I believe that's making an appearance with Zoe Dransfield.
Wow.
And Cam McDonald and I believe Stretch.
Wow.
That's Botany Cranes, isn't it?
No, Botany
Access, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so the guys at Botany, they sold Botany Cranes a while back, so they've now just got Botany Access and Botany Scaffolding as their two companies. Justin and John are awesome supporters.
Great supporters of sailing. Yeah, we're just looking there at Domino's from Belmont. They've been going pretty quick too, up at Belmont. That's on Domino's. We've got Mike Quirk skippering, obviously, and Dallas Dawson and young Tom Steenson. Pretty good lineup of sailors on that boat.
Yeah, well, Big D loves a blow, so it's like I think Monday, Tuesday, I think we're meant to have a little bit of breeze.
Yep.
And there's the wild card, shall we say, the fluid building with Davey O'Connor, Phil Harmer, and Fang on board.
Once again, three super talented guys. They've taken the boat over for the regatta. The only regular is Phil, obviously. I think we're going to have Clint out here with us a couple of days doing commentary, are we, Jimmy?
Yeah, Bozo's going to come and join us for a few days, so that should be entertaining to say the least.
Yeah.
And then he's off to Japan, so he's jumping on for a couple of the days.
But yeah, fluid. They'll be one to watch if they can get their combination together. I think they've done a little bit of sailing already, so I think they'll be pretty ready.
And the Bruno.
NFPG on screen there now. Benny Brunnages.
Dave Hickey and Little Sharrow.
Just going back to the Quigleys, they did their time in a 13-foot skiff down at St George there originally as well. So
they did.
They got local knowledge as well. So
yeah, they did quite well in the 13s too.
And there's a boat you might know a bit about, Dole.
The employment,
been polishing it.
The employment hero, Will DeVola, my young bloke, with Ali Hunter and George Thompson. They actually don't mind this light stuff, but interestingly, we only fitted the small board. So they'll be running the small board, but they're super lightweight. We've talked about them before. Very light crew, so they won't mind this. But one thing you can be sure of, the boys will have some fun down here at St George.
Those three, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
There in the background is our Queensland entry. Sunshine Noakes.
Sunshine Noakes. So, yeah, I don't know much about them, Jimmy, or the boat, actually.
No, but what we can do, Dole, is we'll go and grab a little interview with them and learn a little bit about them tomorrow. How's that for a deal?
That sounds good, mate. So, yeah, on Sunshine Noakes, Sarah Thorburn steering with Adrian Manning and Angus Morrison. So, yeah, I might check them out tomorrow as well in the boat part.
We'll send our little camera assistant Sammy along. He's, gave him a little trial today to see what he was like swinging a camera in the park. He did okay.
Okay, yeah, got the tick.
Well, he had a bit of pressure on him.
So yeah, that's Sunshine Noakes. You can see there the yellow boat. Makes it easier for us. You see the yellow boat, you think sunshine. There's a lot of boats and a lot of sailors' names we need to remember. So, and undoubtedly, I've already got one wrong, haven't I? So there'll be a few more, I'm sure, over the course of the week. But we'll be doing our best. Hopefully by next Saturday we'll be on the ball, Jimmy.
Yeah. Aim to get it right by the end.
So we're just coming down.
Greg, you've been keeping an eye on up course and what's going on. Anything changed on where you think you'd like to go?
yeah, well, with that breeze going to the north, it's unusual for an easterly to kick that way. So you'd be tending to get back over to the left-hand side at the moment, but I've got a funny feeling it's going to go back to the right.
You think it'll go back to you, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just jinx myself.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we don't hold anyone accountable here.
Yeah, I think you'd be a brave person to go right at this point in time, but we can see the top mark up course. Not a massively long beat either, so I think with 3 laps we'll be getting this. This will be sharp, short and sweet even in these conditions. But,
and to be fair, there's a proverbial ton of racing this week to be done.
There
so
is. Yeah, we don't
need to wear them all out on the invitation.
But yeah, we've dropped the pin end of the line down considerably. The start boat is still swinging around quite a bit here.
The Manflu, the Stabak family?
The Stabak family on the Manflu we're looking at there, yeah. So we've got Andrew, Nick, or Gumpo as his name, Nick and Fergus. So dad, uncle and son. And the Stabak's also a very well-known skiff sailing family, and Andrew being a former national champion. I think multiple times, was he? Won a couple?
Yeah, won a couple against me.
Yep.
There's another boat full of lunatics on screen, Dole, the charges from Fireball.
Yes. Yeah, they've got some new gear on the Fireball, and once again, three young blokes who've come through the junior program at Manly 16s. Did the Manly Juniors, the flying 11s into the 13s, and they've been in the Skiff the 16 a couple of years now. And yeah, you just see them improving every week, don't we?
Yeah, they've come a long way. The guys on the fireball, I remember when they first got a boat, and they're one of those boats, Greg, that knew into. No one really stepped up to help them, and then all of a sudden, everyone, the word got around, and everyone started jumping out and helping them, which is brilliant.
The Skiff class is great for that, but everybody gives a bit of.
Yeah, they've got a new rig because they broke a rig. They snapped their mast the other week. I think we lost 2 rigs that day, didn't we?
Yeah, well, the red pumps
did a rig, and Fireball did a rig. So.
This was a day Chits and I went out
just to take some
Greg,
photos.
Just to take some photos, mumming and ahhing. It was that 40-degree day. And we go, there's no breeze, there's no nothing. There's this localised cell right there in the sound, and it just made Chits' day. It was like, didn't matter where he pointed the camera, there was something happening.
It was all gold. The best photo of red pumps, I think, that's an all-time Skiff great photo. So we're down to 30 seconds. Looks to me, there's a couple who are going to be a bit tight here, but so far so good. Everyone just starting to get wound up now. 15 seconds to go. The flag is towards the back of the start boat. I would think...
no sense, Eric's removals, red pumps.
Red pumps, they're all pushing it here.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have another general.
Another general.
Yeah, yep.
I hope your nav lights are working, Jimmy.
They definitely are
out here for a while.
We had all that checked the other day, so good to know that they actually do work.
We might be out here in the dark at this rate.
I think we have to tell them that it's the invitation race and not the first heat.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Pete Tinworth, our RO, does here. He's given them 2 chances under the P flag, the blue Peter.
Go to black, yep.
I'm hearing voices from behind that we should be going the black, but maybe he'll go the U flag first, which is a little bit softer. But U flag, if we have a general recall, they're allowed to restart, but a black flag, if you're over, you're gone. And both those flags are in the last minute.
Just getting word through from the start boat. I don't know whether Jack's going black or the start boat's going black.
Righto. You heard it here first, folks.
So we've got an insider on board the Mighty Mutiny this week, Jack Andrew, always ably assists us.
Most of the fleet have decided that they're just going to sail half of work and see what the breeze is doing up there.
And for the viewers at home, I've just got also notification through from back at the beach that the fire stopping's back on the beach, just trying to get some information as to why.
Missing in action. We'll see if we can find out what's going on there, Jimmy.
I think we got Mel Yeomans is going over to investigate for us.
So we're just waiting for them all to come back. I think hopefully we won't waste too much time on this next start. If we're going black, we'll be getting underway regardless. And for those at home who don't know how the flags work, so with the black flag, if you're over in the last minute, if you cross over on what we call the on-course side of the start line in that last minute, you're disqualified from the race, and there's no recourse going around the ends or anything like that. you get off the course and go and have an early shower.
And for all the ladies out there, on Tuesday the 9th of January, they're holding Ladies' Day down at St George Sailing Club with plenty of entertainment. DJs, I believe, bands. It's a good spot to drop the wife and come and sit in front of the telly and watch
the sailing.
Watch the sailing.
It's a shame you and I will be on the boat, Jimmy, or we could have provided some entertainment for the ladies.
Well, apparently we've been beamed into the room where they are, so I don't know what we're meant to do.
Well, maybe we put our fireman uniforms on.
I don't know what you've got in your cupboard, Lama.
The sail racing boys just coming around behind us, just giving us a wave. Good bunch of blokes. So the general refall flag is down.
Quite like the idea of the black flag because it hopefully keeps them in check, and if it doesn't, well, we're off and racing.
Yeah, with the invitation race, they might push their luck a little bit, but certainly when we get into the heats proper, so anyone would be pretty silly to push the envelope too hard on a black flag and risk we'd be looking at about 60 points.
So the impeccable maintenance program of the fire stopping struck again with the saddle holding the main sheet. The end of the boom is broken.
Oh dear.
So at least that happened now and not tomorrow.
That's a good one to get out of the way on the invitation race for sure.
Well, hopefully
Jimmy.
they use the rest of the day to go over and check and double check everything.
Maybe the sponsor needs to go and have a little word to them.
They're too far up the back of the bloody park, mate. I was talking about that with Junkie before, just going like it's really good. Like for those that don't know, the area between the bridge at St George and the club, the club's managed to get that area now, and we're using that as a rigging area. And it's unbelievable how much space there is actually there, because like, you know, you used to drive in the car park, all you've seen was the trees and you didn't really think to go over and have a look.
Yeah.
And it, you know, the biggest complaint now, because they've got all this great rigging space, is how far they've got to walk to get the boat in the water.
Got to carry it to the water, mate. Yeah.
First world country problems.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're coming up to 4 minutes now. You look at the boat. You're going to see a black flag go up. There it is.
So does that count now, Dolly, for all the boats in front of the line?
No, not till a minute to go, mate.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so at 1 minute, we're looking straight down the line there at the moment. At 1 minute, you're not allowed to be on the right-hand side of that line or you're gone.
I think that breeze has flicked a little bit back to the right again now too.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. Looking at the start boat, it's ticked around quite a bit. I'm just seeing if I can see the... Oh yeah, there's the top mark.
You can say it however you like, because there's no one that can check what we're saying. So you're always right out here, mate.
Yeah. When they've moved those top marks, it looks like they might have made it a shade longer too. So I was saying before, I was thinking it was a bit short, but maybe
we're still on course 3 though, Dol?
Course flags. Oh yeah, it is. It's just dangling off the back there. It was a little wrapped up for a minute.
There's a pin end on screen.
Looking up, that's a great shot, fellas. Fantastic. Yeah, so Eric's right next to the boat there, Middle Harbour team.
They're another one to watch. They're always good for at least one race win in the Nationals.
The last couple of Nationals, they have won a heat. Yep. So watch out for those guys.
Well, I think the problem is Tinny being their sponsor, Peter Tinworth, PRO. He likes to celebrate their victory. So if they have it too early in the regatta, they tend to party quite hard.
Yeah, I won't say that they could be over at the start and get away with it. You're about to see. So that boat that's just appeared on screen, that's Swell from Belmont, and those guys on their day are as quick as anyone out here
Well, the other week when they sailed at Manly, Dole, they were electric. They were,
Oh, they came to Manly and sailed, Jimmy, while I
yeah,
was
they
away.
came and had one race. Yeah, you were away for a month.
Yep.
Almost become a permanent resident of WA. Did you catch up with Evo while you were over there?
No, but I was speaking to Evo.
God.
All the WA skiff legends were offering me advice. So it's well that we were just talking about. They've had some good sailing this year. I think that we'll see how they go. I don't know that they can put a whole series together to take out the title, but they'll certainly have some good results there, and they'll be in the mix.
Coming up to 1 minute to go here, and you can see how far back everyone is compared to the previous two starts.
So yeah, down towards the pin end, we've got Noakes, Cunningham's, Imey and Red Pumps. Red Pumps Red, that is, down there, Bruce Savage and his team.
And Lee will be talking to everyone around him, telling them when they can go.
Well, they're all still they're starting to push up a bit. We've got 25 to go.
Up on the windward end, they're pushing up, but they got that sag down towards the pin end.
Big midline sag,
Yeah.
Greg. You can see it on screen there now. Noakes probably the most advanced.
10 to go, and he's got a bit of room there to pull the
Run.
trigger and run.
Here he goes.
Oh, gee. There's going to be some people in trouble from that.
Clear start was the call.
Great start from Red Pumps then.
Well, on a black flag, unless they go general, no flag will go up. So we'll see. But Red Pumps, Tyler Dransfield, Dominoes, a few of them look like they were pushing it pretty tight there to me. Noakes looking very good off the pin end there, Greg.
Yes.
Good speed, good height, and plenty of just clear air all the way around them.
Lots of clear air there, so.
And I think the next one above them stepped out looks like Imey. Yep. And next along the line is Sail Racing above them, and you can see tucked in behind it looks like Red Pumps Red. Probably starting to get a little bit of gas off Imey.
Imey looks like he's got some good height there as well as pace.
Yes, yeah, really stepping out. I think they could almost tack across the fleet.
Are we too far away, Greg, from Cooks River
For that
the
tide,
that comes out of there? Is it?
you do get a bit of a push back down on that side of the course, but we are a fair way away from there to really get any effect from it.
That was only one thing I learned in the last year I sailed 16s when we were down here, that Mackie actually let a secret out of the bag finally for me.
That was probably on the Botany Bay course, was it?
Yeah, on the Botany Bay
Yeah.
Championship, so around the bay.
You get the big gain over there on the outgoing tide. You can get the big lift up towards the airport channel.
You get a big push off the
Yeah.
runway there.
Yeah. When I did the Nationals down here with Mr. Greg Hyde. Hello, Heidi, if you're watching. And Heidi was all over all those little quirky little spots where we could make gains out here, and that's why he won so many titles in the skiffs.
Just going past the Botany access, and I see Stretch has two matching boots. It's
I'm surprised
first.
he's not wearing thongs, Jimmy.
they look like they were brand new. I think they might be borrowed.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be borrowed burn Stretch.
Someone left them in the change rooms. We're just a few of them didn't get off the line too well down here. They're sort of eating a bit of gas from the leaders, but I'm sure they'll find a lane to get back again. So you can see there from the drone shot we're already starting to spread out a little bit. The guys who got away with Noakes on screen, probably them and Imey got the best of that start and the most favoured end of line in my opinion, and we're just tucking around behind them now. We're looking at Noakes just tacking on the port. They're not going to cross Imey, so Imey should be looking pretty good along with Sail Racing. I think so. To me at the moment, Noakes just took a big body dip as they didn't bend enough when they came around Imey there, and Imey took their breeze.
I think the breeze just lifted off from there, Dole. It was a real odd one, wasn't it?
A bit of both, I think, Jimmy, yeah. And then we've got another tight cross coming here between Sail Racing and Noakes. And it looks like Sail Racing is going to get the advantage out of that too. Noakes might have crossed if they didn't do that body dip.
I think they might be on their lay there as well. Two tack work.
Oh, there's a bit of room to play there. Imey look like they're going to try and keep pushing it up. There they are now. They've just tacked onto port, and yeah, they're under a lay there, Junkie, but they've certainly put themselves in pretty good shape here, and they'll should easily cross Sail Racing. So there we were, Jimmy. We were talking someone up earlier, the Imey team, and they've delivered. We'll see what happens though. There's a few boats that have gone hard right, and at the moment they're maybe looking okay over there, I think.
The Imey's going back on a horrible knock at the moment.
Is that fluid? I can see hard right over there, Jimmy, I think.
No, they're about mid-pack, mate.
Okay.
Like mid-line.
Can you make out who that is hard right over there? With your younger eyes?
My eyes aren't that good, Dol. Give me a break.
We're just going to see if we can get a shot.
Try and cheat with the camera.
So we've got Modern Concept Constructions looking good over that side.
I think that's Ace over there as well, isn't
Ace, it? Yeah, Ace is the furthest one.
Okay, and Ryan Newing's in Noakes, and like
Noakes Blue.
Outback Marine over there as well.
You've got all the Manly boats have stayed to the north with the Belmont boats, and the St George boats have gone to the east.
Well, all the St George boats except for Noakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noakes look like they've come out of... Looks like we've just had another little shift back to the left. To the left again, which now this left-hand fleet, maybe a plane just took off, Jimmy. Getting a bit of backwash off the
runway.
Off an A380 or something.
Well, Steve O'Rourke's just dialed up his air conditioner over at Yarra Bay.
But yeah, the breeze is back in the left again now, and once again these left-hand boats are looking very, very good again. So, Contender Sailcloth, they're at the moment they're probably in about 4th spot. Very good for them, looking good. But
Will and Rich
out of the little exchange we just had, I'm liking Sail Racing at the moment, so it's really chopping and changing here at the moment. So that's Will Howard.
Sail Racing is hooking up into this breeze on this left-hand side nicely, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got made the most of that. I think Noakes would tack and cross them with the starboard advantage if Noakes came back, but yeah, at the moment our top 4 is looking like Noakes, Imagine, Imey and Sail Racing.
Okay.
We'll see how it stacks up. We've got about probably 300 metres, 400 metres to the top mark to go. So we'll see how we go with this first mark rounding. A few spectators out here taking in the action on their boats. Beautiful day on Botany Bay.
And the few jet skis watching with Mitch White and who else is out there? Gus and Indy.
Oh, is that who's on the jet skis?
Yeah, Andy Beck and so forth.
Uh-huh.
Brought them down here.
Well, hopefully they're smarter than the average jet ski rider and they'll stay out of the way, right? We hope.
To be confirmed, Dolly.
Yeah, we hope. Yeah, so we've got Peeler Hay and a few of the boats that came in from the right-hand side. They're just starting to engage. There's a couple of boats, it looks like Tribeca and the Dominoes over there. They're leading that right-hand group back. But I think unless we see another little shift to the right again, they'll be up there, but they're going to drop in behind these lead boats. I think we'll see, but there's this oscillating shift. Whoever gets it at the right time, at the moment the right-hand boat's Dominoes looking very high on starboard tack. Probably not far off a starboard ley line to the top mark. Yeah, so you can see Modern Concept Constructions and Moon and Yachts have come to that right-hand side. They're all just putting in a few short tacks, just sailing the shifts when they can, because they're not coming back on great air. They're just trying to keep chipping away on each shift and trying to make some ground towards that top mark. Dominoes, you can see they're at the moment they're laying, but they're likely to get ahead of before they get to this mark.
Your tide's pushing them down too.
Yeah, true.
Where the other boats are stemming into it.
Yeah. And in saying that, just as I said that, they've just hooked onto a fantastic reef.
You know, anything you say, it just gets reversed.
I know, mate. It must be because I'm looking downwind.
That's what it is.
I'm getting my right and my left mixed up, Jimmy. Thanks for that.
What a great course that you can be, 2 kilometres apart from each other and you're going to meet at the top mark.
Yeah, all that distance and they still converge. SKE Electrical, not in too bad a shape here as well. There they are now.
Max has just tacked on his lay.
Not on screen, but Sail Racing reaching into the top mark.
Coming in hot. And yeah, I think it's going to be. I think they'll have enough room to slam it in there before Noakes get here. They're going to have to get under Imagine. Imagine's used to port tackers coming in and putting one under their bow. Seems to happen every week. Here we go. And bang, they've got it in there and they've completed their tack. Imagine asking for a bit of room there. Felix obliges. Noakes around in third. Lee Napton. Imey, SKE.
These are all the pin end of the line boats, aren't they?
Pretty much, yeah. Modern Concept Construction's great first beat there from Jared Smith and the team.
Saying the boat's 4 kilos overweight, Dol.
Is it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
With the wean.
Dominoes and Contender Sailcloth around next. Ace after them. Pretty true to our form guide so far, fellas. Pepsi Max, NHS. Is that TTR?
Yeah, very hard to read their
signage.
signage.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, but we'll know from now on they're the ones with barely any signage. Fluid, Outback, Southerly. There's Sarah Lee. Put the mocker on her. Sorry, Sarah.
Yeah.
See how it works around here, Greg?
Yeah,
it's good, isn't it?
Red Pumps, Tyler Dransfield with Greg and Jay. Pretty thick and fast, tight racing, hey boys?
And obviously, for the viewers at home, where they've laid the top mark sort of restricts us down to the one camera that we've got. The a little bit too close to the airport for the drone to be operating. So once we get back down towards the bottom, we'll get that back up and we'll see what happens. But I think we might bust a move and get back on down to the bottom for the first of 3 times down the bottom.
So what do we think of the gate down the bottom, starboard side?
Well, you know, I think if you want to get to that left-hand side of the course again, yeah, Greg. But, yeah, it just depends how you're positioned with the other boats too. We're just...
Southerly.
Yeah, we're just seeing Southerly with... They've got a problem, they're just not screened at the moment. They're Spinnaker down and cruising, so something's got to miss with them, unfortunately. So we really put the mocker on Sarah. All right, did anyway. Sorry, Sarah.
Just hope it's not a physical problem. Kurt's been struggling with a bad knee lately, so...
Looked like he was doing something under the Spinnaker bag, so fingers crossed it's not Kurt. The Outback Marine there in front of Moon and Yachts. Red pumps.
Alana getting one up on her cousin.
And won't she love to remind him of that, Dol?
Should be hoping that it stays that way for the rest of the race. NHS and Fluid just dueling it out there. So they'll be looking to drive fairly soon, I'd say, as soon as they've got a bit of a clear lane. They're having a bit of a look around. I think NHS might be just waiting for Fluid to make a move. Fluid's starting to roll them a bit here, so I would think NHS will go sooner rather than later. Yeah, they're still holding on. Still holding on. They're trying to hold Fluid out as long as they can, I think.
Here's the 13s just started not long ago, and they're on their way up. And as I predicted or mentioned, I think Plonk is looks like they're leading the 13s at this stage.
Yeah, Plonk from Ebix, and I'm pleased to say the girls on Botany Scaffold look to be in third spot at the moment. Bella Hart, Sophie DeVola, my daughter. But yeah, Jimmy's right. Plonk looking very flat and fast there. It's usually the stronger conditions that they excel. So we're up with the drone shot again, and Noakes are the first into the gate. They've decided to take the left-hand gate there, Greg. Once again, proving everything we say is correct.
Well, in all fairness, Emergent Signage looks like they're heading home the background of that shot. So, Sail Racing around second. Army looks like they're heading home as well. SKE Electrical around in third.
So young Banjo on the SKE, Banjo Nicholson, one of the aforementioned young guns we were talking about earlier. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite hold his line there. So they're tacking out because they fell into the dirty gas from Sail Racing. We're just going to have to watch out from as boats coming downhill. Next round was Modern Concept Constructions. Good gain from them downhill on that last leg. Contender Sailcloth, TTR, Dominoes, most boats are opting to take this right-hand gate under Greg's and my advice.
Who's Ace? Where are they? They're from
Ace
St
is
George,
a
aren't they?
St George boat, Lockie Steel. Yeah, Lockie
Bryce
Steel.
Edwards.
And Bryce Edwards,
And Jerome Watts.
And Jerome Watts, yep.
So a few of the 18 boys moonlighting down here.
Yep.
18-footer experience with those guys for sure. So red spinnaker there is red pumps.
With a brand new set of sails on board that.
Uh-huh.
I think they went out for a little run the other day and then dropped them down to Scotty at Imagine Signage to get their signage done, and here they are.
So they've changed their size ratios,
Right.
I believe.
Well, I know they snapped a rig. So
What they've done is they've gone bigger on the mainsail and they've scrapped their turbo headsail.
right, there's a Tagara with a bit of a messy rounding.
Yeah,
But they've been doing a ton of training as well. I thought they'd be a little bit further up.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we'll see the best of everyone for the invitation race.
No, there's young Ryan with the blue spinnaker on the nose.
Talk about pressure on your forehead.
Yeah, poor old Finn there.
Jeepers, make them work for it. And he's got a bit off on the Tribeca getting that kind of weight.
Yep.
But he's done a great job. He's got it all in his lap now. We'll worry about getting it in the bag.
Rory Cox.
NFPG next round, followed by Botany Access. And I can see there, yep, we've got Zoe Dransfield. Fantastic to have Zoe out here.
Thurlow Fisher. He's from Drummoyne.
You're one of our Drummoyne boats.
Nathan McNamara. Here's the Sunshine Doll, the Sunshine Noakes.
Our Queensland entry. And Sean Langman, what a great supporter of all sailing. I mean, what have we got 3 Noakes boats out here racing?
Yep.
So 3 skiffs supported by Noakes, and he likes to support youth. He's helping out the Queenslanders. Fantastic supporter of sailing in general.
Great supporter of the mighty Camry Cat as well, mate. He looks after us with the boat.
Make sure you got a clean bottom, mate.
Boat gets pulled
Cleans your
out and
bottom for you.
serviced, and all the fun stuff at Noakes. So it's we really do appreciate Sean's involvement in this sport.
We're off again, lap 2. We're heading upwind. What are you thinking, Greg?
Well, they've all gone to the left, so it's almost like a train track up there.
Not really too many passing lanes either, is there?
No, you can get those little step-ups that we saw there up that first work, those little holes where you take advantage and come back across, but it's going to be all about boat speed and trim.
Yeah, flat and fast. Bartley Construction. Manly boat on screen. Actually look like they're getting through the water really nicely there. Dan Bromelo on the helm with Tommy Wormsley and Jesse Lilly. Boys looking in good shape there, actually.
They're another one of the young guys that are coming through that are just on that cusp of they could string a race together first and foremost, and start stringing a bit of a regatta together. Be another good young crew to keep an eye out in the future.
Yeah, just need that little confidence booster. They get a confidence booster, it just changes their whole attitude in the sailing.
And speaking of good young crews, Jimmy, we're looking at Ebix. They've taken the lead in the 13 race. James and Gemma Hopkins, Gemma on the helm, already put away a couple of titles in the 13s, and they're looking in great shape here, great form. They've been working hard. And yeah, they've gone for, they were third on that beat when we last saw them. And they've converted that into about a 75-metre lead.
Over Plonk.
Plonk in second place. We're looking at them now. They're jibing to go with Ebix Jibe, so they've gone with them, not to let them get away.
And then in third, we've just got the camera coming around. You got the Kitchen Maker, another great sponsor of skiffs, Darren McKavanagh.
Darren McKavanagh, great supporter of sailing. Been very good to my family too, looking after Will for a number of years with sponsorship. And that's Timmy Lee's sailing with his daughter Taylor.
Yep, and then you got Cybertech Group, Theo and Kobe.
Theo and Kobe. So Kobe Napper, son of Rob Napper. And they're followed by the Botany Scaffold girls, Bella and Soph. And who have we got there?
27 with it's one of the Hornsby Ku-ring-gai boats. But
it is too.
Sorry for the viewers at home, we've only got the names and who's sailing on them. We don't have the sail numbers, so we'll fix that up for tomorrow. That's why it's an invitation race. Good for us to learn. And then next is number 40. Again, we don't know who that is, from Manly. Then Fiji Water from Hornsby Ku-ring-gai. Then did say that'd be back onto the 16s now. So TTR Group and Contender Sailcloth.
They've just been trailed by Bella Group, who were just getting gas. They've tacked away.
Bringing up the rear in the 13s is the mighty Sail Media boat.
Oh,
the Red Anchor.
Well, it's an invitation race, Jimmy. They might want to peak too early.
I think that was the discussion we had with them.
Yeah, Daryl's been around for a while. He knows how it works. He'll be trying to improve his handicap or something.
Well, he is a rock star of the Keg Cup, which is a famous race with inside a race at Manly. So
we're just looking now. We've got Domino's coming back towards SKE. I think the big game has been made by Mod Concept Constructions here. Jared Smith, he's had a blinder of a beat. You can see there SKE tacking back towards Sail Racing and Notes. And
there's been some big gains in that work, hasn't there?
There certainly has been. I wonder if people are just doing a little bit of foxing.
what, Leroy Foxing?
Yeah, he won't show all his cards, I don't think yet, Jimmy.
Well, that'll be the talk on the beach anyhow.
Yeah. Now, I can't see, can anyone see Imagine signage? I think they might.
No, they went home.
They pulled the pin?
Yeah, them and Imey, I've seen them down the bottom.
I saw Imey go. And
they were buggering off.
Yeah. So they've just come out, they've had a bit of a look around, bit of a shakedown. They'll keep their powder dry for tomorrow. So we're just now positioned just above the top mark, and the lead boats have only got about 50 metres to go to come into this top mark. And it's going to get pretty tight here. Young Banjo is going to cross Sail Racing. managed to slip a tack in there.
Now, if you remember last year, Dale Scott was out on SKE Electrical for the Nationals last year. He was doing himself a mischief.
We've had a couple of people hurt themselves just prior to the championships. It never ceases to amaze me why people would do things like ride mountain bikes or horses or jump out of planes or...
And you were always a saint back in the day, weren't you, Dale?
Absolutely, Jimmy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Body was a temple, wasn't it, Dolly?
Yep, no, always looking after myself and...
Bit of a bad set there on the SKE Electrical, but good to get it out of the way now. Not so...
Windward set on the sail racing as well was a bit slow.
And the Noakes have got a bit of trouble to the left of screen.
SKE's got a problem in that they can't get their tack line all the way out to the pole. So they've got a spinnaker chute, and I suspect there might be a bit of a problem with their lines, because they cannot get that kite all the way out to the end of the pole. So they've definitely got a problem. Once again, a problem you want to sort out in the invitation race and not in the first tee.
But they're normally never a problem that you have every other day that you go racing. You get to the Australian titles
and all of a sudden you've got a problem.
You got the problem.
There's a lot of people running new halyards and that for the championship. So maybe the week before a championship's a better time to run a new halyard.
Yeah, just to bed them in.
Well, that's what we used to do, Greg. We used to always swap everything out 2 weeks prior and get everything, all the systems worked out, make sure everything all works well.
Close up on Contender for a windward set. We'll see how they go. Great shots from the boys, getting you sort of inside the action on the boats, and everyone at home can see what's involved in getting these sails up and down, doing it efficiently. And that was a pretty good set from the guys. The windward set's slower. They managed to get it set, jump out and accelerate out of there pretty quick. So the winners, the advantage out of that whole little battle at the top mark is Felix Gretsch and the team on sail racing.
Talking about windward sets, Dolly, I've noticed in the 18s these days a lot of them like to do some prefer a windward set over a leeward set, which I'm...
Well, the thing with the 18, Jimmy, as you probably know, when you do the leeward set, the jib gets in the way of the tack line, and if it does get caught and you prawn the kite, you've got a huge problem. So they've got a line that pulls the jib out of the way, but some of them are finding that they're making the windward set work for them. So you do whatever works for you, right?
Yeah, back in the day we used to do the windward set. We'd grab the kite, throw it on the front tank and throw it, and then hoist at the same time.
Yeah.
And when it went well, it went well, but if it went bad, you were catching prawns for the rest of the day.
Yeah, yeah. So a little poll for you two. What's your superstition status on, personal superstition status on invitation races?
Mate,
Greg?
I enjoyed winning them.
Yep, you're happy to take one.
I'd like to rub it in their face.
Yep, okay, Jimmy.
Mate, I was always we're out here to race, let's
Just
get it done.
go out and race, yep.
I know Brett Van Munster, he would never go through a finish line. That was a
Invitation race.
invitation race. There's plenty of them out there, isn't there? Like,
Yeah, green robes.
I was one of them. Oh, no green anything, mate. No green. We've discussed that before. No green anything. But yeah, I was never a fan of winning an invitation race.
What about the bananas?
No bananas, mate.
Yeah,
we go.
I went through our lolly box we got on board and threw the bananas out of that.
Great shot
There's
looking
the
up the
charging
fleet
pack.
there. Look at that. So that's the chasing pack. So we're probably looking there from about, I don't know, 15 and back maybe.
Say 10, Dolly. Give them some love.
As we saw in that first work to windward too, it's very hard to fight your way through the pack with that dirty air with all these spinnakers coming downwind. So maybe that's where those gains were made early on.
Yeah, as you get through the race and the fleet thins out a little bit, it gets easier, but it was pretty congested at the bottom there on that first lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, you certainly saw those 50 boats out there and fairly big spinnakers coming down and smothering the bottom end of the course.
Now, once again, I've seen a good gain from Modern Concept Constructions. So we've got Jared Smith with Chris Williams and Jackson Cranfield. They may not be first around here, but they've certainly made a big gain. They've gone through Domino's. Sail Racing looking to me like they're a bit hard pressed to make this gate, do you think? They wouldn't be sailing that high on their rear if they weren't stretching to get into this gate. They're really struggling. Breeze back around to that northern edge of the east again. They are coming in with starboard advantage here, but
Right on the edge, aren't they?
Yeah. For my money, MCC, Modern Concept Constructions, bit late on the drop here, but they're going to be the
Spinnaker
first
shoot on
around.
board there too, Dol.
Down she goes. So pretty even. MCC and Sail Racing followed by Domino's. So great work there from Jared Smith.
Looks like the SKE Electrical is going on home.
Looks like there's a couple heading down that side, Jimmy. Who's that other one we can see over there?
Noxus hanging in there, but
Yep, they're keeping on going. Lee'll want to be getting a bit of match fitness, I think. He's been
The
off
other
the
one
boat
in
for
the
a while.
background is Skelcon.
Skelcon, okay. So
From
we've got
Belmont.
SKE and Skelcon both heading in. Maybe they're going home to Belmont tonight. They want an early start.
TTR, here's a late drop if you've ever seen one, Dol.
Yeah, I thought they were going to just keep going and drop at the other mark. but they
Remind you
changed their
of
mind.
a bloke that sails a 100-foot boat that you used to sail with on an 18?
Yeah, not enough screaming, mate. Contender still in the mix here, and Eric Storage. Great job from them. They were a little bit back, so I think they've made a bit of a gain there. I think we've got Scotty Cotton on the helm of Eric's, have we, Jimmy?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Scotty Cotton, Nathan Edwards.
Tangara coming around.
They've had a big gain there, haven't they, the Tagara boys?
Yeah.
And Alex Leslie in the bow of the Eric's. Fluid will be the next around. Bella Group were going for one mark and they've changed their mind. They're going for the other one now. Moonin, another one coming in hot with a late drop. I don't know what's going on with them today, Jimmy.
I know they'll down
I think he's heading back to the club is what he's doing.
I dare say he will be.
Either that or that's a very late drop.
I think they only had one training session down here, which was Wednesday, after obviously other commitments from the crew, which makes it very difficult to try and string things together when you're off doing other yachting.
Yeah.
I think
P. LaHaye Real Estate coming in, Middle Harbour team.
Fluid on their way home there, I think.
Another one.
Yep.
Bartley and from Manly and Pepsi Max from Belmont.
In the next round, they're going to keep going. But yeah, we're seeing a number of boats heading back to the club now. They're going to, as I say, keep their powder dry for tomorrow. Not burn up all their energy, not take too many risks. They've probably seen enough for today. They think they've got it worked out. Looks like P. LaHaye is also turning their tail for home.
Just what the crew want, isn't it, Junkie? Just to have another set.
Yeah.
Fire hands love that.
But Jimmy,
All right, get it down and then get it back up.
Jimmy, I'd imagine we've got a bit of prize money running on this race today, they do?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So,
So these guys that are
These
pulling
blokes-
out will actually be very disappointed when they go to presentation tonight. And I think there's... can't remember what Graham said, if there's a sprinkling for everybody that finishes.
Right. Yep.
So that's...
the more that go in, the more there is for everyone, is it?
Yeah.
well, we're going to be out here for the 3 laps, so make sure we'll leave Junkie behind. He can go collect the prize money on the camera cat's bath. How's that for a deal?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Let's get us through the line first, Jimmy, please.
Mate, we have the best BMG out here, Dole, you know that.
So yeah, some of these blokes must have too much money. I know my young fellas won't knock back a bit of extra beer money. Pepsi Max and Bartley, they've been glued together all afternoon, those two.
There's the leader of the 13s, the Ebex, has absolutely opened up a can of, you know what, with Plonk there just coming into the back of screen. The 3rd place isn't even around the top markers yet.
Yeah, daylight.
Well, there they go. 3rd's just around now, which looks like the Cybertech group.
Yeah,
I like how they all go get brand new Spinnakers just before it titles, and you're used to looking for this colour Spinnaker, this colour Spinnaker, they turn up with a different one, you go, oh, thanks.
Just to confuse us, yeah. Yeah, Averill's had that green Spinnaker for a while, so it makes her easy to spot. And my girls have been sporting the yellow one for a while. It looks to me like they're about to come round in 5th spot. So it looks like we've got Ebix, Plonk,
Cybertech group.
Cybertech, is it? Yeah.
Have the grey Spinnaker. Not sure who the white one is up there, but there goes the Ebex on screen with it. We've got Outback Marine and Red Pumps there. But Josh must be pretty good on the Outback Marine just to jump in and get that thing rolling.
Yeah, well, Josh was steering the Tangara last year, so he's an all-round crew.
And he steers the MG, I'm guessing?
No,
cruise.
his father steered the MG. It's his father's boat. So, and he just stepped on for the championship. So,
Great overhead shot of the Plonk there, and now we're looking at him from the side. Oh, we're back again.
and
So the 4th boat is the Kitchen Maker, Dol.
Oh, very good.
Got the Caesar stone written on the Spinnaker.
Yeah. Yeah, and Cybertech looks like they might even just get inside the Cybertech here. So for those that don't watch us regularly, the 13-foot skiffs is the feeder class, we like to call it, to the 16s. We're seeing a lot of the top 16 guys have come through, everyone from sort of Daniel Turner's era on, and it's sort of really paid dividends, getting numbers into the 16s and providing a bit of a breeding ground, transition boat from the junior classes into a youth class, and then stepping up into the senior 16 class. So
There's Sophie and Bella on screen.
Yep. So Sophie Hart, Bella Devola on the botany scaffold. They'll be pretty happy today. They're looking comfortable in this breeze, and they'll be happy to have a little shakeout before the big regatta starts tomorrow.
have they sailed on the bay before?
Yeah, they've done we did state titles down here, but we were in the river, so not out on the bay here. Yeah. There'll be quite a few of these younger crews haven't sailed out here on the bay.
Yeah, so good experience to get out on the bay. Big open span of water, no shorelines to bounce off.
It's like when you do the round the bay race, Greg, and you go on and you go, oh, okay, be dropping the chute in a minute, and the foreshore just doesn't get any closer.
Yeah.
And trying to spot the marks. We used to always say, he who leads the bay race very rarely wins it.
Yeah.
So I'll go the wrong way at some point.
Yeah, or 20, 30 metres off course and the boats behind capitalise on it.
Yeah.
So our media boys there just on screen have picked up a few spots.
Good news, mate.
Showing some good form there.
Great stuff. The Fireball, Employment Hero, and who's that? Tagara?
Thurlow Fisher.
Thurlow, is it? Uh-huh.
They the only one from Drummoyne this year? Or is there...
Not sure. There might be one other, which is a bit disappointing.
I think looking at that, there is only one.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Thurlow Fisher. Maybe we could have got the great Ross Bell, great Drummoyne boy, back. And Caro was a Drummoyne boy too. I'm sure we could have found those guys' boats to sail.
I think they disowned Zinger, didn't they? After he defected over to Manly.
When he defected to Manly, yeah.
So, Shed, who are from Middle Harbour. Maz's first year not sailing. Marilyn Sorensen that normally sails that boat.
Indeed, yeah.
And there's the little blue dinosaur from Middle Harbour.
Ah, so that the aforementioned, I was talking to the boys about it before. I'm not familiar with the boat. Some good signage on there. Do we know what boat that used to be, Jimmy?
Mate, you dare say it'd have to be one of the old sheds or something from Middle Harbour, like Maryland, I think.
Yeah.
Has built every boat that comes out of there, bar the Eric storage. There's been a Marilyn Sorensen built boat.
So a bit of an end of a dynasty there, right? Because, you know, she always built them for herself every couple of years and they got passed on. Yeah, maybe we're seeing there might not be that era of boats, Marilyn building boats for the Middle Harbour team.
First 16 around there on screen. Had an early call from on board here that it's Domino's from our camera op.
Yeah, I think it might be. Our Modern Concept are going to get round in second in front of Sail Racing. And then Eric's, good gain from Eric's actually on that beat. For sure.
And just on the little blue rib that's going to come into shot here shortly, it's the one Robert Atkins, Baz.
The one and only. There he is.
On there with the master Brunnages. What could possibly go wrong?
Two former greats.
Baz still very passionate belting these boats together, isn't he?
Extremely passionate.
Nothing.
Has been for, what? He must have been doing it for 50 years now.
Yeah, well...
when he sailed them himself with Trevor Barnabas.
Yep.
What year did they win their first one? It was 77, wasn't it? Or 78, I think.
Yeah, it'd be that era.
Well, 76 was the first one for a Manly boat to win, which was Matana. And then I think Trevor was next off the list.
So it looks like
Noakes in the background.
He jived off
times
last time too, didn't he?
Yeah.
So whether they're just out there to look for different things, what's going on, but he's worked his way back through the fleet.
Yeah.
Which is very unusual for Lee. So.
Jared, Chris and Jackson on MCC, Modern Concept Constructions. And all the beach's finest home builders. And the boys are doing a great job there. They've been looking good all day. Always making gains, and they've just unfortunately lost a grip on Domino's, who for my money look like they're going to get away with a win here. Let's see what their superstitions are. See if they sail through the finish line.
Am I right in thinking, last year, the first race, the Nationals, Domino's lead when the race was called off because of the shipping movement? That was Domino's then, wasn't it?
It was, Jimmy, you're right. And weren't we just baffled that day as to what the hell was going on?
I don't think anyone knew what was going on, let alone the ports guys.
Saw a port authority boat approach the finish boat and start boat and said, "You've got to call it off." We're gobsmacked.
So the 13s have finished. You'd assume that Evix
would have had to have won that.
They would have gone on to win that.
Now, what I did notice, we didn't see much of Harkin, did we?
Don't even think I've seen Harkin out here.
Well, they were rigging, and I think I saw them in the pre-start, but that was the last I saw of them all day, I think.
G'day to Grantley and the team at Harkin, who I know tune in regularly.
But the Harkin team will certainly be one of the ones to watch in the mix in the 13-foot skiffs. Heidi Bates and Orlando Sadley.
Now let's see how the superstitions unfold here.
Yeah.
Eh?
You think they're going to go over the top of the start-finish boat?
No, they're going to jibe and come through. Here we go.
Get a Rankarina TV for winning the invitation race, don't you?
I think it'd be like a gorilla, wouldn't it? For the win?
You'd think so. Definitely decent prize money on offer.
I know. Slap that on the bar, fellas.
There you go. Well done to
done.
the Domino's crew.
Well done, Domino's. Although, someone hear a hooter then? Anyone hear a hooter out of that?
Well, you could be able to hear his hooter.
And maybe over at the start.
That's what I'm thinking, Greg. Because he was one of the ones I mentioned at the start. This will be interesting to see if anyone gets and any of these subsequent boats get a hooter, because I didn't hear one.
You can definitely hear his hooter.
I wouldn't be surprised if we hear one for Sail Racing here, because I think they were clean. No?
Eric Storage third, Tagara back to fourth.
No, well back in the
From
pack.
how far back they were,
Yeah,
right? Like
I
far
reckon.
out, they got some wheels. So there, circle them if you're watching at home of one to watch.
Contender and Modern Concept. I think the Modern Concept might have just held off in that last little sprint to the line, because they were looking good for a second place there. TTR. Next over. We've had quite a number of boats have gone in on that last lap while we've been concentrating on the action, haven't we?
Yeah, Noakes went home, didn't they?
Yeah. Another middle harbour boat, the CMG.
CMG next to finish. Good result for them, actually. They'd be happy with that.
Looks like it's one of Sarah Lee's old boats, the paint scheme on it, Dole.
Yeah, quite possibly. The boat that the Chris boys sailed a couple of seasons ago.
Well, it looks like actually one of the boats you built.
Oh, possibly.
Tribeca next across with Ace. I'm going to have to do a bit more research on these guys on Ace, and I think they're going to be one to watch this week. They've got some wheels.
Yeah, well, like I was saying before, three pretty handy sailors on board there.
Yeah, they've been a bit hot and cold in the club of late, but maybe home ground they might show us something.
Home track advantage.
Pepsi Max next across. And then I think the next boat across the line with the red spinnaker there, I think be a little bit disappointed with today's efforts.
Yeah.
I know they've been training the house down, so. So Outback Marine, do we have to put a slash some STG on there with the skipper?
The change of
junkie, do you
skipper?
think?
Oh, they're still representing Manly, but Manly and St George, we're one big family now, right?
Yeah, we're one big family. The Southerly was the same, wasn't it? It's come across from Manly. And
Yep.
I think now it's a St George boat for good, not just for a series.
No, it's good to see the numbers at St George actually building again, and the quality of the boats and the fleet is gaining down here, and
We're getting some great racing.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, that the boats, you don't get a boat dominating in the class at the moment. So everybody has their day. Ace has had a win this year, as we mentioned before, but then they've had some bad ones as well. So.
You got some quality boats with some quality teams, and considering the new club's only been open for a short period of time, and the sailing is sort of in a bit of a rebuilding stage. Great signs, I think, for because quality attracts more people.
Yeah, there are good quality boats. They've
Yeah.
got the backing of the club behind them, and the sailors have taken advantage of that and put it out there. Especially with a home club's championship, you don't get too many of them come around.
So Botany Access just over there, and Thurlow Fisher next up. So Zoe may be just finding her feet with the new crew there, but
I think it's more the Sheedan finding his feet, isn't it? When do you reckon Stretch last sailed?
would have been a while. Yeah.
Stretch jumped into Southerly about 2 weeks ago and went for a sail.
So he's had a cheat.
He's had a little.
Yeah.
And he won both races on that day.
Okay.
What's Craig call him? The human propeller.
Will and the boys crossing the line there at Employment Hero, just behind, who was that? NFPG, I think.
Yeah, NFPG.
They were back a bit today. Anyway. Coming in, our next young blokes after the young blokes, the Fireball. They were handing out little bottles of Fireball in the park today, I think, hoping that they might take care of a few of the opposition.
Might have to go for a walk in the park more often.
Heart Safe just in front of
Red Pumps
the
Red.
Pumps Red.
Well, I think we might take that opportunity to call it a day. Thank you very much, Greg, for coming out and joining us. Always great catching up with you. Dolly, great to have you on for the whole week.
Thanks, mate.
As the
Great day.
co-commentator.
Nice little warm-up day.
Don't forget to tune in at 2:10 tomorrow for the live stream if you can't make it down to the club. Definitely going to be some interesting racing. So I guess all the rubbish stops today. It's the invitation races out of the way, and racing proper gets underway tomorrow at 2:10. So look forward to all the viewers tuning in, and we will see you then.
It's been a pleasure. I think we've got a good nor'easter for tomorrow as well, haven't we?
I think we got 2 days of a good nor'easter, so
We're going to see some action.
Yeah.
I just wish the tides were a little bit delayed.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we get. No, thanks, Jimmy. Thanks to the boys in the back of the bus. We'll do it all again tomorrow.